Hi y'all, welcome back. You're probably wondering why I'm sitting here with these 3 cups. I have got a treat for you today. Let's start today's video with a little game because today we're going to do a breed highlight. Now under each of these cups is a breed of chicken, little baby of course, and I'm going to show each of you and I want you to try to guess which one you think is the Cochin Bantam. Alright, let's start. I'm going to start with this green cup because this one's the biggest and the most active. Whoops. Alright, and ta-da! So, this baby has black legs and a black beak and has lots of little feathers that are super soft, and you can see if you look really closely at the head there, it is going to develop a crest, and you can tell because of this little puff right here. So what do you think? Is this a Cochin? Our second little cup here is moving around on its own stuff, but it has our next bird. Let's see what's in here. Oop! It's a little scared of its debut. Alright, so this one has a puff on its head as well. The feathers are a little bit different. The skin is yellow or kind of peaky colored. And this little baby has 5 toes. Oh, the last one I showed you also had 5 toes, but had black skin instead of yellow skin. So the difference between them is the feathers, and this one has yellow skin, and the other one had black skin, but they both have that 5 toes. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toes. Cutie pie. So what do you think? All right, we're down to 1 cup. Let's see what's in this one. It's the tiniest one yet. And let me show you it. Oh. So this little guy does not have a puff. If you look, no puff at all, just smooth, even head there, so it's not going to develop a puff. And that's why one way you can tell if a chicken's going to develop a puff is this right up here will have like a little bit more fluid buildup or puffiness to it. And it won't be a uniform smooth. It'll be like a bump bump. Okay, so feathers are just barely starting to come in. I don't know if you can see them, but they're kind of more like the second one there. And let's see, skin color is yellow. We've got feathers on our legs. All 3 of these had feathers on their legs, but we've only got 4 toes on this one. So what do you think? Cochin or not Cochin? So if you guessed that last chicken, the chick in the red cup, if you guessed that that was the Cochin, you're absolutely right. Just so you know, the second one in the golden cup was a sultan baby, and the first one we looked at in the green cup, that was a silky. So all 3 of these breeds have feathered feet. The silky and the sultan both have crests. Cochins do not. The silky and the sultan have different colored skin. And that's the primary way you're going to be able to tell the difference of them when they're babies. Now as they get older, the silkies have a very specific feather type. And we'll look at that more in another episode. In the future, I'm going to do a future breed highlight on silkies, but just so you know, they do have a different feather type. It's not like any other chicken. It's a silky feathering. The sultans have this traditional smooth feathering. So the difference between the silkies and the sultans get a little bigger than silkies most of the time, and their skin is kind of a pink and orange color as opposed to the famous black skin of the silkies. So Cochins, obviously that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's go over some Cochin facts, and then we'll look at some samples of adult Cochin chickens. Ever heard the term Pekin Bantam? Pekin. It's just another word for Cochin. So I've got my trusty notes here. There's a lot of facts that I want to go over, and we'll try to go through these really fast so that you have all the information about Cochins that you could possibly need to make a decision on whether or not to add this great breed to your flock or just to learn more about the birds in your flock. So first off, Cochins actually come from China. They are Chinese. They were introduced into the U.S. in the 1800s or so, kind of early, mid-1800s. They were not actually bred like other breeds from the standard size. They were bred separately from just a small breed, presumably breed of bird in China. And there are a lot of officially recognized colors of Cochins. So there's barred, there's birchen, there's black, black-tailed red, blue, brown, brown, red, buff, Colombian, golden lace, lemon blue, mottled partridge red, silver lace, silver pencil, and white. Those are official recognized colors. And we'll look at the buff and the birchen, the golden laced, and the mottled here in a little bit. And then there are some unofficial colors. Now, these are colors that are very common among Cochin, but aren't like show quality official recognized colors by the APA. That's the American Poultry Association. So those colors include buff lace, buff mottled, calico, golden birchen, lavender, millefleur, however that's pronounced, porcelain, salmon, yellow cuckoo, and one that's not on this written list right here that I'm posting, but I actually have an example and looked it up, and it is a color that's out there. It's just for some reason not on this list, and that is splash. So I'm going to show you a splash, and I'm going to show you a one of the blue lace. That was blue lace, not buff lace earlier, and then blue mottled is the other color. So those are all the different colors. Now, these are small. They're bantams, obviously. The hens only get up to 28 ounces, and the roosters get all the way up to 32 ounces, which means they don't need a whole lot of space. They only need about 0.2 square feet, you know, for the perch space. And the roosters, personality-wise, can be really, really feisty. Like, they really can. I have to watch Capone. He's my boy rooster back there. Beautifully sweet little boy. He doesn't hurt. He's really just more funny than everything. They don't pick hard because of how small they are. But he can be pretty feisty, and if you haven't seen him chase Scamp in some of my other videos and attack the cage and stuff, he doesn't really tolerate other roosters that well. So I have to be very careful, give him lots of girls and lots of activity, lots of space, and really give Scamp a place that they can kind of keep their distance and be in the area together. The females, though, no problems at all. They get along with each other. They get along with other birds. They get along with the people. They're actually some of the most friendly birds I have in the flock. They're really super sweet and docile, and they get along with other breeds. Like, they very rarely fight, ever. They can live to be about 5 to 8 years, and during those years, especially the earlier years, the girls actually lay pretty good. They lay up to 200 eggs per year, averages between 150 and 200, so they're pretty decent. And another thing that you can tell about Cochin is they do have the red combs and wattles and ears and stuff, as opposed to the silky that has the black again. Their legs, again, are yellow, and they're feathered all the way down the leg and across those last 2 toes. The girls do have a tendency to go broody. Like, they're some of my best brooders. I had put my standard size chicken eggs under there. Shoot, I could probably put a duck egg or a turkey egg under there, and they would absolutely sit on it. They will fight over the nest if I let them, and because that's like the only time they don't get along is like, I want to sit on eggs. No, these are my eggs. And they will sit on so many eggs that they can't even cover all of them. Like, they're just spilling out on both sides. So it's kind of a funny thing. We have to watch them. They actually go broody so hard. I have had 2 that went broody. They did not leave the nest to get water or food at all, and they actually ended up dying from dehydration. So if they go broody, you really need to watch them. So Cochins actually do have some special care needs, and it has to do with those feathered feet and a round body size. So they do forage really good. In fact, if you feed them and don't let them forage, they will absolutely get obese. This is not just a beauty thing. It can cause brain problems and heart problems and shorten their lifespan from 5 to 8 years down to like 3 years. They can literally go from a healthy chicken to dead in the morning with no apparent cause because they had a brain hemorrhage because of the high cholesterol and fat in their blood. So they are very susceptible to obesity and problems related to that. So what you need to do is really limit how much feed you're giving them and let them free range more. Force them birds to get out and exercise. They can handle it pretty good. Now there are some things you need to be aware of. Those feathers on their legs actually trap water and can hold water and mud up against their feet and legs. And especially during like freezing temperatures, that water will freeze on their legs and actually cause frostbite. This frostbite can cause infections and all kinds of other stuff. Additionally, mold and other irritants can get trapped in mud and get, up in the feathers up against the skin and ultimately lead to bumblefoot, which is, if for those of you who don't know, bumblefoot is an infection of the legs. It's not good. You can lose your chicken to it. I mean, no infection is good. So you really need to kind of protect them against like rain and water and help keep their feet dry as much as possible and out of the mud. If you see that there's like a muddy area that they're just in constantly, basically just put some pine litter down, cover that mud up so they're not traipsing through the mud, and as they scratch, they're scratching through dry litter, not mud. Make sure that there's no low spots that collect puddles that they're in and out of on a regular basis, and really make sure that they have like a warm place that they can go into to stay dry and lots of cover. Now they're not all that tolerant of heat either, to be honest. They really need a lot of shade, and normally for a chicken I would recommend putting out like a little pool that they could wade into. That's great for standard size in most birds, but birds with those feathered feet, it's really not good. Again, it's very important to try to keep their feet dry as much as possible. So other options are just an increase of shade, lots and lots and lots of airflow. And there's things you can do to help cool them down internally. Make sure they have plenty of cool water during the winter, during the summer. And also, you could add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar per gallon of water, and it makes it like Gatorade for chickens. Really, it adds electrolytes to the water and helps them absorb that water, and it just tastes good to them, so it encourages them to drink more. They won't cook alive as long as they can get out of the sun and have plenty of hydration. And then during the winter, so they get out of the wet and stay warm, and again, plenty of hydration. Make sure that water is up off the ground and they've got easy access to it. Another bad thing, I mentioned the round body size and obesity, but they're basically little round puff balls with feet on the end. Like, that's how everybody describes them. The ideal body portion is when you're looking at the chicken from the side, it should be shaped like a heart, so that the head and the tail make the top bumps and then the feet make the point at the bottom. This is like the perfect conformations for Cochin, but honestly, when you look at them from the front, they're just round, like round. I cannot express it. I refer to my Capone as my little soccer ball, because when he runs, he looks like across the ground. They're great, adorable birds, but they don't run very fast because they have really short legs, so they really don't run very fast. They kind of do this waddle thing, which is hysterical. And they just from behind, they have like they're like the chicken equivalent of a corgi. I don't know if you know about the corgi butt, but it's really cute. But they're not the fastest sprinters on the planet. They don't fly like hardly at all. I've never had a Cochin, but maybe once, jump the fence. And they really have a hard time as a result evading predators. So you'll want to provide them with plenty of shelter and cover to escape from predators and get, under and stay safe. And again, if you've got steps going up into like an entry or into the nesting boxes, them short legs are not great jumpers and they can't really step up very high. So have your steps or your rails closer together for them. So a normal chicken could probably go about 8 inches to a foot, but with a Cochin, I wouldn't space them out more than like 6 inches per rail. And honestly, your best option is to just put in a ramp. Like just ramp it with some rails going across so they've got some grip. And they shouldn't have any problems getting up and down that. But if you space your rails out too much, they're gonna be like really struggling to get up and down. They can hover and fly a little bit. They just prefer not to. I've actually currently got mine in the tower. It's not the best arrangement for them. That's why we're building the Kwanzaa hut. But they will actually jump up, and I've got the steps kind of close together, and they'll jump up and get up in the top, and then they'll jump out of the top, and they use their wings to kind of slow down, and they still end up kind of doing this kaplop type bouncing number when they hit the ground. So I've got to be kind of careful. And another trick that you can do for the girls is put your nesting boxes on the ground. They don't like going up. I've got 1 or 2 that'll go up, but really those are my silky mixes. My pureblood Cochins almost always nest on the ground, like every single time. I got 4 brooding on the ground right now. I'm having to make sure to get eggs out of them because I don't want them hatching their own eggs right now. So that's all the hardcore facts. Now, here comes some fun part. Let's look at some chickens. If you found this video to be informative so far, I really hope you'll consider sharing it so that other people can get this great information about this really sweet breed too. And if you haven't subscribed, or if you have subscribed but you haven't hit that notification bell yet, please go down, hit the subscribe, and hit that bell. This is only the first breed highlight we're doing of the year. And if you're looking forward to seeing more, and you're looking forward to seeing all the different examples of the babies I'm about to show you, be sure to hit that like button so I know that you want to see more of these. I have really enjoyed this so far, so hang on. Let's check out all the colors of Cochins. All right, the first bird I want to show you is Capode. He is our rooster. Now, I've only got the one rooster. He looks black from a distance, but when you look at him really closely, let me show you. His feathers actually have just the least little bit of lacing or mottling to him. So he's actually what would be considered a blue lace Cochin. And I wanted to show you the rooster. You see how big that beautiful straight comb is. Those big old wattles. It's not happy with me. And I love the curly tail feathers on the roosters. Cochins are known for having that big floofy booty. Now the only problem we have with Capode is he has his spurs tend to get a little bit too curly, and then they curl back and they actually get him in the back of the leg. So we have to work on that a lot. So Capode, rooster, Cochin Bantam, black or blue lace. Okay, and now our next color. This is the buff colored, and you can see that the color is just even and conform. You don't want any variation if possible in the feathers and the wing and the body color. So let's look at her really closely too. This is Miss Apricot. Who is not appreciating being in the house. Girl, chill. Stop. Stop. So when you're holding a chicken, you should secure the wings. I was going to try to show you the feet. She's not cooperating very well. As you can see, they're feathered feet. See it? Beautiful feathered feet. And that round tail. This is exactly, of course, normally she'll let us this time. Okay, are you gonna chill? Are you gonna chill? Are you gonna chill? There you go. Pretty girl. Good girl. Oh, I know. I know. And there you go. You can see the heart shape I was talking about right there. So the head makes part of, and you can see just whoop, boop, and then zoom, and there's your heart shape. So this is a buff colored one. This is Little Miss Apricot. Bye-bye, apricot. Okay, and now we're here with Thumbelina. She is our mottled Cochin. And the mottling is basically you've got the black under the base coat, and then in some of the feathers, there'll be these little spots. And it just, and you can see like this spot is actually split up between this feather here, and it's just the tip. And then just here and there. So real irregular. I love it. You can see that round. She's got the roundest little booty. She looks like she's got a little bustier on, see? And she's really good at arm perching too. And you can see her colors. Just great. I'll see if she's wanting to lean on the front here. There you go, girl. Good girl. Wonderful. She's got that great heart shape. So the rounder the tail, the better. Are you sure? Are you good? Sweetheart. So the rounder the tail, the better, because it really helps with that heart shape. There you go. She's kind of, now she's a little bit on the chubby side. She's been brooding a lot and just munching away instead of foraging. She's just my broody girl right now. And another thing you can notice, one way you can tell if a girl's really broody, is if you look at her face. Look how red her comb and wattles are right now. So, Thumbelina. Okay, before I show you my next chicken breed, I need to show you a pattern of feathers. So this is a very common pattern. It's called lacing. And when you look at it, you see there's a primary color here in the middle, and then it's got like an outline around the outside. And you want, ideally, would have like very little to none of these little black intrusions in here. So it would be like really, really white with that black. Now, Cochin come in two different colors, officially recognized colors of laced pattern, and that is silver and golden. So this would be a silver laced color. That's actually a sebright one. I don't have a silver lace Cochin yet, but I do have a golden lace. So meet Goldie. Yeah, we're just that creative around here. That's her name. We have Goldie and Lacey. They are rotten spoiled. I absolutely love them. Now, if I was to take her to show, she would do okay. She's got a lot of the intrusions, black or the brown, darker colors, like worked into her feathers, but she's got a beautiful body shape. Like, look at her body structure right there. And I love the lacing pattern. It is easily one, see, that black feather would be a disqualifier right there in a show. So she's not show quality, she would be pet quality. But she's just really pretty. Yeah, all the lacing. I just love that pattern on chickens. It's easily my favorite chicken coloration. And I love the golden laced. They're just beautiful. Really beautiful. So say bye-bye, Lacey. You did so good, girlfriend. Right, now this is a younger chicken. She is almost a year old. This is a 10-month-old Cochin. So you can kind of see a lot smaller. They actually don't finish growing out all the way and like fully feathering out and getting their full size until they get to be about 18 months or so. So she's got about another 6 months of growing, but she's already started laying eggs. Like they start laying eggs right around 20 weeks, same time as everybody else. She is a Birchen, so I really love this coloration. It's kind of a combination of lace with some gradients to it. She's trying to debate. She's sitting here debating on whether or not I'm gonna get her or not. But let me show you her a little bit closer so you can see what a younger Cochin and the Birchen coloration looks like. Oh, other hand, girl. I need this hand. There you go. Good girl. All right. So Birchen coloration actually has a variety of colors on them. They have this kind of pattern up front, and then it kind of tends to go to a solid color in the back here. So, and I like how she's got the dark on the top of the head too, but she's pretty. There's another Birchen, I think it's a golden Birchen. I had that right, golden Birchen. And they have like more of the yellows and the golden color like you saw in the golden lace, but instead where all this brown is, and it would be that color. Yeah, they're really pretty too. So this is Nebula, just in case you're keeping track of the names. And Nebula's a sweetheart, but she's she would be, I would call her like a young adult. She's like right at like layer hen. If you were buying a laying pullet, one that was already full grown and laying eggs, but like just barely starting to lay eggs, this is about the size you would expect to get. But she'll get bigger than this. You saw the others. So she'll get bigger than this. All right, say goodbye. Okay, so those are the 5 that I have of the 18 officially recognized colors. I've got one more bird to show you. This is our newest acquisition of the year. She is still very, very young. She is, I think they said that she was 4 months old. So she's not quite laying eggs yet. And this is like if you were to buy a pullet, like a sexed older hen that's about to start laying, but hasn't started laying yet. So 4-week-old Cochin. She's not an official recognized color, but I love this color, and I'm really hoping that someday it is an official recognized color. Because remember that lacing pattern? And we looked at the silver laced feather, and we looked at a golden laced chicken. Well, let me introduce you to a blue laced Cochin. This is our newest girl. She is the softest thing on it. She's going to show you her butt right away. See that? Meet Alice. Now, you can see that lacing pattern right here. And what you've got are these kind of blue or gray. Blue is another word for gray, just like blue heelers are gray, not blue. And you see the blue in the middle and then the lacing on the outside. And it's just a beautiful coloration. It's really pretty. It's subtle, but when the light hits, all that black just glows. And she is just such a pretty bird. So this is our newest girl. She's the only Cochin we've gotten, adult Cochin or older Cochin. The others that I've gotten are all babies. She's thinking about jumping down. Come on, girl, sit up for me. There you go. Look up there. Good girl. And there's that heart shape. I love it. And the corgi chicken corgi butt. There you go, sis. My sister loves corgis. This is a chicken corgi. Corgi chicken. I don't know. It sounded good at the time. All right, I'm going to get her back out into our little sentinel coop and we'll wrap up this video. Okay, so those are the Cochin that I have to show you. There are many, many, many more colors than that. Online, you can go and just Google them and check them all out. There's so many varieties. You can have the most colorful flock in the world and have all Cochin. And I did want to show you one mixed chicken. I have a lot of sebrights too, and I just fell in love with this little girl. We call her Comet, and she is a sebright Cochin mix. And I wanted to show you one mixed chicken, one mixed Cochin here so that you can see. So she's got a lot of the tail shape from the Cochin, that big floofy woof, so you can see the big floofy tail, but you notice she's got a little bit of a point, and this is actually comes from the sebright side of her, because sebrights have a real pointed tail that sticks like straight up, so she's got that point on the tail, but with the floof right there. So that is sebright on the end, Cochin in the middle. She's also got almost that heart shape. She tends to lean forward a lot more. But if from the front you can see, my arms are like totally wearing out. So from the front you can see she's that round shape that the Cochins have. But the main dead giveaway that she's not a pureblood Cochin is in her comb. See the comb? Remember, Cochins have that fan comb that just sticks straight up like a fan off the top of the head. She does not. What she has here is a little pea comb or rose type comb right there, and that is distinctly sebright, very distinctly sebright. Now she's the same age and from the same hatch group as Nebula and was actually hatched out by the same mama. So this is proof that a mama will hatch out other chickens. Cochin mamas absolutely will hatch out other chickens' eggs, because this was obviously, I don't have any sebright males, so the sebright had to be the female. So she laid her egg and the Cochin took it and hatched it, and the daddy was obviously Capone. And the coloration on this is actually, this color is called Splash. And you can tell she's got this, oh my arm's dead, girl, you gotta give me a break here. Well, I can't do it anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She's a very vocal little one. Very feisty young girl here. But there you go. You can see the splash really good. Just that silver intermingled here and there. Little specks. Here's a good splash mark. And generally speaking, splashes, as they get older, that splashing will come in more and more. So there you go, guys. Did you just peck my fingernail? I think chickens may be my absolute favorite topic in the whole wide world. I have really enjoyed learning about them and sharing that knowledge with y'all today. So I'm going to do a lot more breed highlight videos in the future, as I mentioned. So if you enjoyed this and found it useful and you want to see more of them, be sure to hit that notification bell. Just smash the heck out of that thing so that you can get notified right away. I don't post to any like schedule. I'm just not that formal yet, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. But if you want to be the first to find that video and not have to wait for it to pop up on your feed, you really need to hit that bell. It's really the only way you're going to know when a video is posted right away. I try to share stuff on Facebook as well. So if you're not a member of one of those groups, I guess you'd have to see it pop up. If you're a member of one of my favorite chicken groups online, thank you so much for watching my videos and checking it out and subscribing if you have, or liking it, commenting. I really love hearing all your comments and sharing feedback from you. But you know, it would help me out a lot if all my viewers would comment on YouTube as well as in other places if they like. This just kind of boosts the video interaction and puts me up a little bit higher in the browser so new people can see this video faster. And I really appreciate all of your help. And as always, guys, I love Cochin. I hope you loved it. And what I love the most, though, is the fact that you joined me today to learn about them. So, thanks for watching, y'all.